Yeah, hello and welcome Sydney FC faithful to Bankwest Stadium for the 29-20 A-League Grand Final. A grand final with a difference. It's great to be here. I know so many of you watching back home would love to be here as well. Sadly, as we know, that's not the case, but the Clove is still in full voice behind, so they are cheering your boys on. I'm Daniel Garb. Great to be hosting your pre-game show in the absence of Simon Hill, who's on radio duty this afternoon as Sydney FC search for a 5th A-League championship. That would be an all-time record. And as you can see, Michael Zillo is alongside me as the Sydney FC players are welcomed onto the field here at Bankwest Stadium. Michael, obviously you're not with them, so you're not a part of this grand final, unfortunately. Injury has gotten the better of you. Just take us through your emotions in regards to that.
Oh, it's very difficult. It's been a massive challenge this week, full of mixed emotions, obviously. But at the end of the day, I did everything I could do to stay fit and be healthy this season, but unfortunately it just hasn't happened. And it kind of summed the season up for me. But at the same time, I want to stay supportive of the boys, and I'm still just as excited as I would be if I was playing. But now I get to enjoy it sort of more as a fan. So I kind of get to share the experience with the rest of the fans and see how it feels to not be on the field.
Hasn't been all bad for you though in recent times. You welcomed twin boys into the world not too long ago. That must have been an awesome thrill.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great feeling. It's been a massive 9 days for my wife and I. And I fear that it's going to get bigger in the weeks and months to come. But we're both very happy, and just couldn't be happier that they're both here and healthy.
Amazing, good work. Right, let's focus in on this game. The Sydney FC players have just stepped out. They're warming up behind us. Michael, you've been a part of grand finals before. You were part of this team last season. What's it like right now, and who's the player who's, I guess, keeping everyone relaxed inside that squad at the moment?
To be honest, this is probably one of the most enjoyable times of a grand final. It's obviously going to be a little bit different tonight with not having a full house, but I still get goosebumps thinking about coming out of the tunnel, seeing the stadium full, and just that build-up for a grand final is always so special. So it's important the players remember that even if the stadium isn't full. And definitely the player that's keeping everyone calm and relaxed is going to be Ryan McGowan at the moment. He's a bit of a joker at the best of times. So he's important on and off the field, and I think for us it's about just doing what we know we can. Most of the boys have been there before, so I'm confident they know what to do.
Well said. And obviously not the biggest crowd here today. We are limited. So many of you watching back home. Leave your comments on the Facebook page. Tell us how you're feeling right now, similar to the players, of course, and give us your predictions for how the game might pan out and your Joe Marston medal predictions from a Sydney FC point of view as well. But Michael, obviously the players go into this game feeling a whole lot better about life because of that semi-final win over Perth. Let's be honest, the form line going into that game wasn't great. So how on earth did you just flick the switch and turn it all around?
Yeah, it was a funny one. I think obviously we weren't happy with our form going into that game, but we all knew that at the end of the day, a season is about finishing top of the table, and we did that with a number of games left to go. We knew it was going to come down to 2 finals games, one of which we won on Wednesday, and I think the boys were absolutely brilliant against Perth. And the aim tonight is obviously to recreate that against Melbourne City.
A 2-1 win against Melbourne City in December with 10 men. That was crucial en route to the Premier's plate, of course. Will that be discussed, do you think, going into tonight, that win and how you did it in tough circumstances?
Look, I think not really, because I think this is a grand final. So at the end of the day, this is a completely different set of circumstances. But that game was a great sign of our character. I remember Ryan Grant got sent off, I think, in the 30th minute or something. And the boys did unbelievably to come back and win that with 10 men, like you mentioned. So I think if the game gets into the later stages, that'll definitely be something on the boys' minds. But I think it's probably something that they're focusing more than us. I think it's something that would have hurt them early in the season.
Let's touch on Melbourne City because they've been a fantastic story in this A-League season. They're a club that you've played for in the past, and probably when you were playing for them, they were renowned as an inconsistent team who failed to deliver on expectation and make the most of their talent. It's been a different story this time around. What have you made of the way they've been able to change that perception of them this campaign?
Yeah, I think, from being an ex-player of Melbourne City, I was only there for a very short time, but the perception I got when I was there was that I think players bought too much into the fact that they were a big club with big money and all that kind of stuff, but they hadn't actually won anything at the time. I think the important thing now is they seem to have recruited a number of players that are quite level-headed and want to work hard and dig deep and do what needs to be done in order to win a game. So I think they're probably, they probably had more talent in the past, but I think now they have a better team. So it's going to be a massive challenge for us.
They still have a pretty special striker though in Jamie Maclaren, who's won the Golden Boot for the second time in his A-League career. It's pretty close between him and Adam Le Fondre for the best striker in the league, and they'll go head-to-head tonight, which is going to be some sort of battle. But what sort of work has been put into trying to quell the influence of Jamie Maclaren leading into this game?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty interesting kind of battle. I mean, they're not going to probably come up against each other, but Alfie against Jamie Maclaren, they're obviously the two best strikers in the country, in my opinion. We've obviously done a bit of work on Jamie and what he can do, and he's obviously the Golden Boot winner, so he's a dangerous player, and I think we've identified areas where he likes to get the ball and areas where a lot of his goals seem to come from. So without saying too much before the game, I think the boys are well prepared to deal with the challenges and the threats that he provides.
Jamie Maclaren is a big game player, but I think it's fair to say Sydney FC probably has the edge in that respect because they've been on so many big stages in recent times, including last season's grand final, of course, which the Sydney FC side won over Perth Glory. Michael Zullo was heavily involved. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from that big day.
Perth Glory versus Sydney FC, and for the first time in 16 years, we are back in the West for a season decider. Finds the gap beautifully, Zullo! It's 1-0 Sydney FC! Or is it no? Flag is up against Adam Le Fondre. Celebrations cut short, they don't know it yet. They will any moment now. Chianese found the gap. Franic shifts it back onto the right side and gets to the byline. Castro finds save. Andrew Redmayne for the second time in the game to deny Diego Castro the opening goal. Andy Keogh, saved by Redmayne. The dancing around on the line has worked. He's out-psyched Andy Keogh. Redmayne's made one very big save. Again, he dances around. Oh, and Santalat went for the Panenka, and it did not pay off. And Sydney FC are almost there. Reza Gushanajed has the responsibility. The Iranian, who's only been with the club a few months, can write his name into folklore here. If he can make it 4-1, it's done. Liam Reddy was a hero in this situation last week for Perth. He has to be again here, or it's all over for Perth. Gushanajed scores! And against the Premiers, against all odds, a long way from home, it is Sydney FC who are the champions of Australia for a record-equaling fourth time. Gushanajed's successful spot kick. It's desperation and desolation for Perth, whose big day falls flat. And Sydney FC have done it again on penalties. The third time they've won the title on spot kicks.
Yeah, what a moment that was for Sydney FC last season that all of you, the Sky Blue faithful, managed to enjoy, including Michael Zullo. I know it's killing you right now, Michael, to not be out there warming up with your teammates. It must hurt a lot, but at least you had last season and the triumph. What are your recollections of that night?
Oh, look, I think there's probably only a handful of memories that stand out in your career as unforgettable, and grand finals are undoubtedly, they're the main ones. I think last year the main vision I have in my mind when I think of that grand final is Reza winning the game with a penalty. There was obviously a pretty contentious decision made. That was pre sort of VAR line and all that kind of stuff. I was involved with that, so that was a goal that may have changed the outcome of the game. Yeah. Well, made it a victory for us a bit sooner, but. Just pretty much celebrating with the fans away from home in Perth, massive stadium. I mean, it was probably one of the only times in my time at Sydney FC that we've been the underdogs, and I thought it's probably one of our greatest victories.
Let's take a look at the team news for this game now. Unchanged Sydney FC. I'm sure that's not a great surprise to all of you fans watching back home. So, as you know, Michael Zullo unfortunately hasn't recovered from his injury. Alex Pamjohan has to settle for a place on the bench, but no great surprise that it's an unchanged 11 for Steve Corica, eh, Michael?
No, absolutely not. I think the team performed, it was one of our best performances of the season on Wednesday night, and there's just no reason to change it. I think as the game goes on, obviously with such a short turnaround from the semi-final, we're going to need to make changes at some stage. I mean, it's obviously a tough ask to get players to back up, and there is the opportunity that the game could go to 120 minutes. So we can make up to 6 substitutions tonight, I believe, if it's all played right. So that could be a massive factor in the game, and we'll see what happens.
Melbourne City unchanged as well. We know they have some weapons. The likes of Jamie McLaren certainly stands out. Josh Palante as well, who we'll hear from shortly. But when you look at their team, who are the players that you have to be really wary of, apart from Jamie, who we've already discussed?
Yeah, Jamie's the main one for me. I think Josh Palante is a fantastic player, as Sydney FC fans will be more than aware of. I think he's going to be their skipper again tonight. He's so important in the engine room. He gets through so much work, and he's such an aggressive player that we need to counteract that aggression with aggression of our own. And obviously as an ex-Sydney FC player, he'll want to kind of, be the deciding factor in bringing a title to Melbourne City after winning it last year with us. So he's probably one of the key matchups against Luke Bratton and Paolo Retro that I'm going to be looking out for.
So it's been pretty straightforward for Steve Corica, the Sydney FC boss, in terms of his starting 11. He is going for back-to-back grand final triumphs. What an achievement that would be. Let's hear from your Sydney FC manager.
Well, Steve, it's the big day. How are you feeling?
Very excited. Obviously we worked very hard to get here. We won the premiership, and now it's time to try and win the grand final and win that championship back-to-back.
Boys played very well the other night. Are you expecting something similar today?
Yeah, they're going to have to turn it on again tonight. Obviously, it's a big game. We know Melbourne City are a very good team. They finished second to us, and they have a lot of good quality players. Obviously, McLaren up front, leading goal scorer, so we need to stop him tonight. And they have many good players, and we have to play really well tonight.
You must have been happy with the performance. You've kept the same starting lineup.
Yeah, of course. I thought they performed really well in the semi-final, and we'll keep much the same squad and try and win the final.
What do you think the key to the game is today?
I just think it's a big game. Obviously, we've been here before in grand finals, and it's about just being composed when the time comes for when we get chances. If you take your chances, you're going to win the game.
A bit of history potentially on your side. If we win, it's the most successful club in Australian National League football history. Does that give you added motivation?
It helps. The boys all know that, but at the end of the day, we just want to win, and all the other stuff comes with winning and winning trophies. So the boys have done a great job this year. Really proud of what they've achieved, and it's just one more game, another win, and we get what we want.
Stuff, Steve. Enjoy
It
the
is for
occasion.
Steve Corica as well, of course. He led Sydney to the A-League Championship last season, and now he's going for back-to-back triumphs. Let's be honest, Michael, when Steve Corica got the job here at Sydney, there were a fair few Sydney FC fans who weren't too sure about the appointment, and maybe he still doesn't get the credit he deserves. It's a huge opportunity for him tonight, isn't it, to rocket himself up the Australian coaching ranks again?
It is. I'm not sure about how the fans felt when he was appointed, but the players were rapt that he got the job, and I think for me personally, it goes to show how important it is to hire a coach that understands the team culture, that understands the club culture, understands what's needed to make players tick at a certain time of the season. And obviously, as an ex-Sydney FC legend and an ex-Sydney FC captain, he was the perfect man for the job. And I couldn't be happier for him that he's gotten us here. But I think we need to do what's right by him and win the trophy. Winning back-to-back grand finals would be an unbelievable achievement, and quite frankly, I don't know who's not giving him credit, but if he's not getting the credit that he deserves, I think he's pretty much proving a point tonight if we can get the win.
Most certainly. We're building up to kick off here at Bankwest Stadium. We can't wait for it. Not the biggest crowd, of course, we know that for obvious reasons, but there is certainly some excitement building in the air. Ryan McGowan has been another shrewd acquisition by Steve Corica coming into this season. He's been fantastic for Sydney FC at the back. Let's hear from, as Michael Zullo said earlier, the joker in the Sydney FC squad.
Well, Ryan, first grand final here in Australia. How much are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Obviously, it's a big game, one that we're wanting to win and hopefully get that win and get that 5th championship.
You've got a lot of big game experience. How much of that will you take into this afternoon?
Yeah, it's vitally important. There's a lot of players in the squad that played last year's grand final or have been involved in big games. So hopefully we can use all our experience tonight and make sure that we play the game and not so much the occasion. It's a little bit of a cliche, but it's something that we're really going to have to work on, and hopefully we can get that done tonight.
How much have you felt better after Wednesday night?
Yeah, we recovered well, got our training sessions in, and then just planned for tonight's game. But it's more about what we do tonight, we feel, and hopefully we can execute it like we did on Wednesday night.
Obviously you played Melbourne City a few weeks ago. How much have you looked back at that game and into what you do tonight?
Yeah, a little bit. I think obviously there was a few mistakes in it in that game, but we can also look at the game that we played them at Cogra earlier on in the season when we were down to 10 men. So they're a very good team, but so are we. So we feel that if we play to our capabilities and the football that we want to play, that we can dictate the game and hopefully win it.
Certainly did the other night. How did that boost the morale of the squad?
Yeah, I think it was just something that we knew we had that sort of performance in us, and when push came to shove and it really mattered, that's when we sort of turned it on. So we'll be looking for that again tonight.
Yeah, great to hear from Ryan McGowan. He is a big game player. He's played in World Cups, he's played in Scottish Cup finals, Chinese Cup finals, and he's also someone who's made big sacrifices, Michael. He left his newborn baby back in Scotland and joins the team here to be part of this finals campaign. How much does that resonate with the squad when someone makes a sacrifice as big as that personally?
Yeah, look, I think that goes to show the commitment of the man, but also of our team. I think being a new father myself, I really would have struggled to leave my family and kids. What was it? 15 or 17? 3 weeks after the baby was born. So, look, he's come over here for 3 months away from his family, and it must have been a massive challenge for him at some point. But he's turned up to training each day. He's been happy as can be, unfortunately for me a lot of the time. But he's a massive cog in our system, and I think if we get the result tonight, it's going to be a massive credit to him.
Josh Brillante used to be a massive cog in the system for Sydney FC. Now, of course, he's plying his trade for Melbourne City. I guess you could say it's destiny that he's playing Sydney FC in an A-League Grand Final, and he was asked that question in the lead up to this game. Let's hear from him.
No, I was just saying before, I think a lot of people are going to jump on that. Obviously, my old club playing them in the Grand Final, but I don't see it that way. I think it's just down to consistent performances throughout the year.
Is it special though that you obviously did so well at that club? You have so many great memories. Is there something special about it? The fact that you are at your new club and you're going up against them from the other side now? Yeah,
of course. Like you said, we won a lot of trophies there and had good memories there. So, it's a great opportunity for an exciting challenge. I know that they've been in finals before and won it, so it just makes it all that better, that next level. If if we get the win, it's just something nice inside.
Yeah, even though he's representing the opposition, I'm sure Sydney FC fans enjoy hearing from Josh Brillante again. We know that the Sky Blues have the edge in terms of big game players, but Josh Brillante is one player who balances things out for Melbourne City. How important is he to them tonight?
Yeah, as I touched on already, I think he was probably the perfect player for them to bring in this year. He's one of those strong, silent types. He just kind of gets on with stuff. He doesn't big note himself, and I think that's why he's become the skipper within 12 months of being at the club. So he's gonna bring a certain quality which we know to their side, and a certain big game experience, like you mentioned. Obviously, that's a massive edge for us at the moment, but the first 15 minutes of a game is a bit of a cliche. That's kind of the most imperative time to swing momentum, and that's where, if we can get on top, it'll be very hard for them to sort of swing that back their way.
Luke Bratton and Josh Brillante swap clubs are the two key points of either side's midfield. Would Luke be saying, all right, I need to make sure I keep Josh under control? Would he view it as a personal battle going into this game?
I think probably Josh would be the one thinking that, to be honest. I think Luke is the type of player, he's got so much quality on the ball that he's just going to be focused on getting our game going, long distance passes, a lot of high quality. So I don't think Luke will be thinking too much about that. I think he'll just be wanting to play his own game.
The Cove's in full voice, as you can hear, and they've had plenty of opportunities to sing over the years for Sydney FC when you've been on the way to championships, of course. 4 in the past, going for 5 tonight. So many big names have played a part in those triumphs. Let's hear from some of them now.
Hello boys, this is Jordi Buys, former player of Sydney FC. Some people of you forgot me, but I don't forget Sydney. And I want to wish you good luck, guys. It's going to be a great moment to play a final again. To all members, to all fans, and good luck to the players and staff. And I wish my special friend Ninkovic, the maestro, the GOAT, good luck. Score again, like in the semi-final. And I will keep following you guys. Ganbatte kudasai. Oh, that's by the way, Japanese. Bye-bye. Good luck.
Hey lads, ABB, congratulations for making yet another grand final. Unbelievable work, lads. And a massive congratulations for another premiership. It's been one hell of a season for yous. I know the sacrifices you've all made to make this happen. And come Sunday, I know your families, your wives, your girlfriends, your children, everyone involved in the Sydney FC will be so proud to watch you go out there and win another granny. So best of luck, lads. I'll be cheering yous on. Miss yous. Would love to be there to support you. But I know you get the chockies and I know you get the job done. So best of luck, guys. Take care and speak to you soon.
Hey everyone, it's Broski. I just wanted to pass on a quick message to the boys to wish them all the best for Sunday. Firstly, to everyone at the club, players, staff, congratulations on what's been up to this point an incredible season. There's been a lot to deal with, but from the very beginning, you guys have looked like champions and did exactly that in getting another premiership. But Sunday will be a big one, and it'll be good to have a lot of fans back at the stadium. I'll be one of them. I'll be there to cheer the boys on. So. Can't wait to see Wilco lift the trophy for the fifth time and celebrate with the boys after the match. So good luck, boys. Bring it home.
Yeah, nice to hear from some Sydney FC greats there and some of your former teammates as well, Michael. Alex Brosco, I know you're still very close to. Brandon O'Neill, who did so much for this club and is obviously in Korea right now. I mean, players like that, talk about the impact of them, obviously not today, but the legacy they've left in terms of the culture in that dressing room.
Yeah, of course. Broski and Brandon were both a massive part of the success we've experienced over the last few years here. And Broski, obviously, as the captain, for me, he's the best captain I've played under, apart from Wilkes. Sorry, Wilkes. But he kind of set the tone of just being a humble person, working hard for the boys. Not big noting themselves, and that was something that I hadn't experienced in a long time, to be honest. Football can be a bit of a macho sort of world at times. So. Look, they've obviously left a massive legacy, and there were concerns that maybe we weren't going to be able to fill those holes. But we've brought in Costa Barbarouses and Luke Braddon, two players that have won titles at other clubs. So they're big game players themselves. They're successful players. They know what it takes just as much as Broski and Brandon did. So I think we've kind of replaced them like for like, and I have all the confidence in the world in the boys that are out there tonight.
Fantastic. Got some of your fan questions off Twitter as well, and let's stay on the subject of Alex Bros, because Dazzle wants to know, Michael, in the absence of Broski, whose beard are you going to stroke when Sydney FC wins the grand final?
Yeah, well, I was just thinking about that actually, because there doesn't seem to be too many beards around at the moment, which is not a good sign, if I do say so myself. So I'm having a look at the boys. Maybe Ninkovic, to be honest, yeah, but I don't know. Caceres, I might just stroke my own beard, I'm not really sure, to be honest. That sounds good.
I know you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but grand final celebrations can be epic. I mean, what's sort of planned if you do triumph, as I'm sure you are envisaging you will tonight?
For celebrations, you're talking? Look, I don't want to think about that yet. I don't want to jinx the boys at all. Obviously, we all sit there and dream about our sort of perfect night and how we want it to go, but there's still 90 minutes, potentially 120 minutes of really tough football to go. So I have a few ideas there. Obviously, with twins at home, I don't know if I can fulfil those to its how I normally would have, but I'll see what I can do if we get a win. I'm sure the wife will understand.
It's going to be a tense 90 minutes and potentially more, of course, because on paper it seems like such an even matchup. And Hoodie wants to know, do players at this level, when they analyse all of that, still get big match nerves?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if you don't get nerves, I actually think that's more of a problem. I think because it's such a massive game, this isn't just another game. People say, you know, finals are just another game. They're totally not. It is a massive occasion. The intensity is a step higher, and you have to be ready for that. And for me, I always felt good being nervous because I knew that I was ready and that I was up for it. So I think for me personally, 100% you get nerves, and I think it's healthy.
Obviously, you think Sydney FC is going to win, but why will the Sky Blues manage to achieve their 5th A-League title tonight, Michael? And what will the score be, do you think, and who takes home the Joe Marston medal? Let's get your tip.
Look, for me, I just think we just have the edge when it comes to the quality on the field. We've been the best team all season. We've had a little bit of a lull towards the end of the season, and that's given the boys a little bit of that kind of fire in the belly. And I just think we have everything it takes to get the victory tonight. So for me, I'd like us to win. Everyone loves penalties. I don't want to go there again. Hopefully we can win in normal time. I'm going to say 3-1 with Anthony Caceres to win the Joe Marston medal.
Well, that'd be a surprise, but an interesting selection from Michael Zullo, no doubt. We are not too far away now. We can't wait for it. Michael, we know you'd love to be out there, but you're not too far away from going into, of course, the changing rooms. What will your message be to some of the players? Because I know you want to get in there soon and rev them up.
Look, I just think, for me, it was always about just being as aggressive as possible in the first 15 minutes. It's so critical. I know I've said it already. I know it's a cliche, but it's so important to dictating the tempo and dictating the momentum of the rest of the game. So for us, there's so many football cliches we say before a game, but winning your personal battle against your direct opponent is number one, kind of getting him off balance mentally and physically. So I think it's got to be physical first, win the battle, and then start playing football, which we know we have the quality to do.
And that football game is not too far away from getting started. 6:30 p.m. Watch it on Fox Sports, the KO app, or the MyFootball Live app, of course. Sydney FC against Melbourne City in the 2019-20 A-League Grand Final. It's a grand final with a difference, but it should be an absolute belt. So Michael Zullo, thanks so much for joining us. Of course, in tough circumstances, because we know you'd love to be out there, but Sydney FC fans have no doubt loved hearing from you, and no doubt you are hoping that you can enjoy more celebrations, Sydney FC faithful, like you managed to do last season. Let's get ready for a massive grand final in the best way possible.
We are